God. All right. Is the live stream ready? All right. Testing, testing, testing. All right. Check, check, check. Testing, testing. All right. Is the live stream going in? All right. I think the live stream's checking in. All right. Let's see if the microphone can work. All right. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Oh. All right. The stream works. All right. Excellent. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another brand new stream. That's right. I mean, again, that's right. Today we are on a stream. That's right. This time we're doing a YouTube stream. And how fun is that? So, before we do and might as well begin the stream exactly, it's just that I'm testing to see if the audio doesn't lack to cut out exactly, but hopefully we'll see if the audio doesn't cut out exactly, but if not, that's fine, but whatever though. But like I said, we're just going to get to the point of the stream right now and get it right on with it. So anyway, yeah, hope you guys actually enjoyed the stream. We're just going to do like a chilling and relax, exactly, just chill and relax and have positivity in the room, just have positivity, no negative, which likely to say that there will just be 100% positivity only to that current state that I'm just saying right now. So for right now, exactly, as I hope you guys enjoy the stream, and if, like I said again, this has been a while, then yes, clearly again, it's been a while since like 2 years ago, from like 2023, since I've actually remembered doing a stream way back in 2023, which was way long time ago. Which I gotta say, that was a long time ago, man. That was like freaking long time ago. But now here we are doing a stream for the only time ever exactly that we're ever doing. So yeah, I gotta say this is gonna be pretty cool. So again, if you're like new to this channel, then go ahead and definitely again subscribe. If you are new to this channel, then go on ahead and subscribe. And that's pretty much what I want to just physically just say right now. And if you guys actually do look on my chat, by the way, on 4 of the chats that say it says the stream is about to begin soon, shortly. And remember to be nice on my stream, or will be blocked on my channel. And I say again, is always to be nice here. And what it says on the second one says, and always have positive, not negative, please. Thank you. 100% positive, like a percent positive right there. And on the third one says, remember, we are only going to be having fun. Is allowed, not the other way around. And on the fourth one says right there exactly, it says, and no drama is not allowed too. Exactly, that is not allowed here. Or will be getting blocked off and will put a timeout. Thank you for understanding and enjoying the live stream by me. So that's pretty much what I want to say, is just only 100% positive. Only on the stream with nice and positivity. That's all I pretty much will say, and will actually again ask exactly. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been do a stream since like 2023, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's been a while to do a stream like this. Exactly, just been doing a while for a stream. So like I said, man, I like up to say, like, not mostly like usual streams exactly I've always do exactly on every time I just make them exactly. They're just pretty a bit interesting to make, but I just kind of feel like having a good day a little bit, just having a bit of a good positive day just to like make the stream anyway. And even though this is a bit of an early thing to make, exactly, which like I said, I do keep my promises, 100% positive promised. But like I said, if things are a little bit overscheduled or rescheduled, it means I might have to give myself time and time again just to see what I'm going to do, and then just like make it like magic, and then poof, it'll just be like magic. That'll actually be starting up whenever I get the stream ready and all other stuff, which again, it's just been a while since I have actually will say this, to be honest, pretty much to be positive here. It's just that it's been a while. Like, I consider to say it's been a while for making the stream, as I can say it, that it's just been a while to make it. So I'm probably pretty happy to make this stream right now of this year, 2025. That I do kind of feel like it's a good time for me to make this stream anyway of 2025 here, and just going ahead and just like make a stream anyway, and just feel free to make it. And also, if you guys have definitely checked out my last stream, by the way, that you guys should totally check out, by the way. Oh, it's about me explaining about top fans to know how that works, exactly the top fans. I think there has to do something with donations, exactly, which, for all pun intended, that we all kind of will understand some, by the way, by other means necessarily, that some features kind of work exactly with me, just only talking about the YouTube stream, exactly, that's only just a live stream of YouTube. So, like I said, it's just kind of been a while since I haven't seen it's a little bit of its new features yet to look onto, but usually, like I said, I have to say it's just been a while to make it, so I guess that kind of makes a fair, honest point exactly to know what I'm talking about. But, at least it makes sense. At least it kind of will make sense for a little bit of time, the time being, exactly for how it makes sense. But, it just makes sense. Which sometimes I may be new to something, and sometimes I may not be new to other things, but, I probably will be a little bit appreciated a little bit for some other features that YouTube does for a little bit of some good things, but when there's like not any good things of it, then that's just why I might say is like, it's just a little bit something, but I probably would or wouldn't be appreciated too. But as long as I'm just being nice, then hey, I'm just being nice, which that's all what everyone else does exactly, is just to be nice and just always have positivity and just have to be nice. That's just it. So, anyway, that's just what I want to say right now. And oh yes, just by the way, everybody, I just want to say too exactly is if you guys are excited on like part one about how I'm going to begin with the game, which oh yeah, it will probably go on for the Xbox, which I'm actually excited to play, which is going to be pretty cool just to play something very interesting, just to play something very interesting. That's just going to be a while since I've never played the game called pretty much likely just only my channel I've never played exactly. That's just like Capcom versus Marvel Infinite. But have I played it considered in real life? That the answer is yes. I did beat the story mode. Like I think the story mode I beat it was like 2 or 3 times if I beat the story mode. But it seems pretty nice. That's all I can respect here. Exactly. It's just like it's pretty cool. I'll admit that the whole thing's pretty cool and badass, which there are some characters I consider might liking at some points that I might be liking from which side it will be. It's just Marvel or Capcom, and to be fully general, is that, I probably will respect most sides anyway of some characters' beliefs exactly on some occasions that I might be believing into, which some, by the way, are pretty based, and some of them are pretty cool that I can probably respect either which way it is, but hey, that's what I can say. And then, as in for its feature, by the way, on the share screen, the share screen, by the way, man, the share screen is all about like, you want to show something on screen and just do like whatever exactly just to show on screen. But, that's just all I kind of would say right now, that it's pretty nice. I'll admit that it's pretty nice of a feature though, but it's pretty nice. And then as in for like, I don't know, the share screen, it's pretty much the same thing like always exactly. It's just pretty much like the same thing, but like share whatever exactly, but that's nice. So that's all I want to talk about. And as in for how the game's gonna ever play exactly, and as I will be briefly mentioning how I'm gonna mention about like how this is going to work in part one. How am I going to consider part one to work? Well, let's just say part one is just going to take its time of its unique time that I might have it up. Which also, by the way, I also did want to say this, by the way, is that I do have the thumbnail, but the only thing I might do exactly is just see is how long I can try to pause the fight scene as I can before it reaches to the next chapter, which, to be frankly honest, on some chapters, I have to say that some chapters are pretty basic and pretty good. And when it comes to part one, exactly in, I don't know, Capcom versus Marvel and stuff, which, like I said, I actually will be interested to see how this play out with Capcom versus Marvel. So, hell, I probably will be excited for that. Now, the only thing I ever will be saying here exactly is just to see how cool it is. And physically, I just like to say how awesome it's going to look, how cool it's going to look for the first time ever, exactly on my channel. Like, my main channel, just to see how cool the fight scene is exactly in Capcom versus Marvel, which, like I said, I hopefully will be excited to play it, and I will actually be excited to play it with you guys, exactly for you guys to watch exactly how I play the game. Just to show you how everything is going to be looking pretty awesome and sick and awesome indeed. Which, that's just how cool it looks like, and all other stuff, which I probably am very happy to play it. So, if I were myself right now, I probably would be pretty happy to play the game, and I actually would be so excited for the first time ever, since I'm ever in a good mood this time, which I've always been in a good mood, and so much, pretty much more. So that's just how I kind of feel right now, and that's just all I want to feel. It's just like, just to feel some goodness and feel some good energy and positivity energy, just to see how happy I can play the game. And oh yes, for the real question is that how crazy the cool game is going to look like. Well, like I said, I can't probably share any spoiler alerts exactly, because if there's spoiler alerts, I just didn't want to say anything. If there were spoiler alerts, then yeah, I probably wouldn't want to say them either. But I might have to come up with some title names. I might have to come up with anyway, exactly, and just do the usual exactly when I get that started, and just do parts from parts, exactly from story to story, to get all the way to like find a new villain, which I think the new villain is going to probably be referring to somebody different in the Capcom universe, which it's going to be interesting. For once, I got to say, it's going to just be looking sick. And as in for this question exactly, it's just that, man, what side would I probably like the most? Would I say Capcom or Marvel? Let me think about that. Well, the only thing I ever will think about that is on for which side I might like the most is to say is like, who has like pretty good like fighting skills, like to have like good amazing fighting tactics and other stuff. Well, let's just say I kind of thought that I would say Marvel does, I think, since I actually will say is like, what, how about if I say Marvel has a bit of experience than pretty much Capcom. Which, like I said, it's not a competition or anything to say it's like, oh, which one do you like the most? Which one do you not like the most? Well, it doesn't have to be either which way it is. I just don't really care. But all I'm saying is, I just like which side's pretty better and which side has very good, well done, experience. Like very interesting fighting experience and well done fighting. Exactly like like good guys versus villains all the time, or pretty much good versus good, and then evil versus evil. Which, like I said, I just love to watch this entire action to go on, since it's going to look good. And then for me, by the way, I'll say is that, well, I was saying to say this question, frankly, is that I actually am excited for a lot more stuff to continue, for a lot of great stuff coming along the way, just to like make good stuff, exactly, which, in fact, I was going to say this exactly, to be frankly honest, is that, well, let's just say that I'm probably am happy just to say that, well, I'm probably happy to say this, that I did pretty much recently say that, well, for what games were made next exactly, from pretty much like from gaming to gaming and gaming. Well, the only things I have remained left to go after I finish Capcom versus Marvel, it remains left is Finance of Warriors 3, which, oh yes, Finance of Warriors 3, I probably am going to have a good round with that one, since I probably might have a good luck on that one. Since Finance of Warriors freaking 3 is just going to get crazy, which, trust me, I have not played the third game. Even if I never played the third game, it's going to probably be a bit spooky and a bit terrifying, which, it's the same characters as from the second game, but this time with the third game, it just gets pretty interesting and a little bit spooky. If that's pretty much what I would say right now, that it would probably get a bit spooky and pretty much more terrifying as the second one, but not the second one as far as from creepier, but the third one is going to be a bit terrifying for some reason exactly, which, yeah, probably have to like go into some kind of mansion or something while playing the gameplay exactly while doing that exactly, which I don't know how am I going to win, but that's going to be impossible. Like, seriously, the second one is crazy. Like, not even crazier than the third, which the third is just going to be a bit nuts, which I've not even played the third game, so don't tell me about spoilers or how the third game works, because for me, I just probably want to have to, like, simply just how I could figure how that works exactly, to see how all that works for the third game, which that's what I'm trying to do, is think a little bit intelligent to know how am I going to play around with the third one. And then with pretty much likely the next FNAF game is just about Finance Freddy's Help Wanted. Man, it's been ages since I've never considered playing Help Wanted, but hell, this will be another good experience for me to play the freaking game. It's just Help Wanted. Now, let me say this, and let me just say this, for example, about that question about Help Wanted is just that, okay, so Help Wanted is more likely another Five Nights at Freddy's game. But I have not recently played it. But if I played it, that would be pretty awesome indeed. That I've never played this game exactly for once, which I did play it on my Switch. And recently, I've actually been trying to beat the freaking other nights, which some of them were harder to beat, but not some of them were easier to do. Which, like I said, I'm probably just practicing to do the security guard thing again, which, yeah, it's the usual. It's just the usual. But this time, the models of the animatronics are going to be freaking huge. Like, they're going to be huge. Like, they're just going to be a little bit huge, but not to expect what they're going to look like this time as their models, as they're like. But, oh, good holy moly of smokes. That's just going to be wild. Not only that's going to be wild, but that's just going to be like the craziest thing to see, which I've never even played Help Wanted, so I'm probably going to be the only one saying is that, hell, I'm lucky to play it, and I'm sure as damn hell I will play that game as I can, so that would be crazy. And I'll be very honest with everybody, is that Help Wanted is just going to be another crazy way to say how cool the whole thing's going to look like, which I'm actually about to like experience the Help Wanted thing exactly without the VR exactly, which, oh, trust me, the VR is just a little bit tricky to do, which I think I prefer non-VR than over VR exactly, which, to be honest with everybody's opinion exactly is that, well, the say is like, which opinion is better? My saying is, which one actually is better? Would it be VR or non-VR? Honestly, non-VR, man, all the way, non-VR. The reason why I'm saying that is because I just kind of prefer, something way more better than the regular VR exactly, which tells me that I would probably do something better exactly. So that's just pretty much what I would say. But the only thing I'm ever going to think about is just a little bit later to play that Help Wanted game. But the third game of Final Wars 3 will be focused a little bit more to be focused, which I probably will consider to challenge it again before I might probably give it a break a little bit before the fourth game of Final Wars 4 will probably be the next outcome. Which, like I said, I only will put some games on a break whenever I need that to be ready. So that's just me explaining how all that's going to work out for me exactly, and pretty much more. And as in for like another news to say at least two exactly about like, oh, about Mortal Kombat, and just like, let's just say Mortal Kombat Deception and then Deadly Alliance, that, well, like I said, I haven't got the game, which it still clarifies to be a no exactly right now, which still actually clarifies a no right now, because the only thing why I haven't played Deadly Alliance or Deception yet is because I didn't even get the game right now. I just didn't get the game. Because, I mean, the only one problem is, by the way, I have to get the older Xbox. Now, why is that? Well, the only thing is why is that I might have to get the older Xbox version is because I just didn't get the older version of the Xbox game, which, to be honest with everybody, I've really not got that game for so many years, for many decades, that I've never even played it. Which, I mean, I played a few exactly that were a bit like the 2000s exactly, which I'm not going to say their names exactly because, well, I just don't want to like overhype things, just to not pretty much to get that understanding. Which I just don't want things to be overhyped, as I'm talking about, just not to like get things overhyped. So that's just what I want to point out. Anyway, so that's just all I want to say. And oh, let me just take a look what we got exactly for a second. So I probably did make, in fact, a little bit of some, like, just a bit of some, basically on some lists on the games right now that I've actually am considered to save exactly. That will probably be right now and then all the way down. I probably am being a bit of like a smart genius for a bit, just to be a genius for a few seconds or a few minutes to do exactly while actually explain how all that's going to go down exactly. Since, like I said, it might come to pretty random as we expect. Some of them might be random, but for right now, Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, or Deception isn't going to probably make it up to its way on the list. If, like I said, that there probably will probably be a very good conclusion just to stay there. As long as it will stay there, then that's when I might edit the post. But right now, I probably can't edit the post exactly because it's just not going to fit, and it probably won't work because exactly is because I have to get the older Xbox version that is very old. Like very old technology. That is pretty bit old. That's like the older Xbox kind exactly, since I probably might have to be a bit smarter for that too, exactly to know how the whole thing, how that works. To pretty much when that comes to me, exactly when that literally comes to me to know that. So that's just what I want to say. So let me just go ahead and take a look exactly for a minute and just find where it is. So all right, let's just go ahead and check on the list of the gamings I have left. Let me just check on the listings. All right, here we go. Found it. All right, so I did explain about like Finance of Wars 3, Help Wanted, and then of course I actually did mention exactly that will probably be another game that I also mentioned too was Slenderman versus Freddy Fazbear game. Now, let me explain that part. So, what I'm actually going to explain about that part for a second here exactly is called Slenderman versus Freddy Fazbear, which is a game, by the way, that I haven't recently played, which I did heard about this before, about when the game was actually dropped, exactly when the game was actually dropped for like, I don't know, way many years, way back, I guess, for whenever it was like the teens or something, like the 2000 teens or something, which I think, to be honest with everybody's facts here exactly, is that no, I have not played Slender Man versus Freddy Fazbear, but hell, I will give it a try. I'll even really consider giving it a try if I want to play the game, which I'll actually be very kindly and might as well be spokenly kindly to play that game. Which, I actually will play the game and all, since I'll probably pretty much play the game exactly after Help Wanted is finished. And then let's just say on like 1 to 2 and 3 that yes, I might consider adding a 4 exactly. I might consider adding a 4 if I actually do ever like consider re-editing the post exactly, if I re-edit it exactly. And of course, number 4, by the way, is going to be a little bit hard for me to decide, since I don't want like the game to actually have a sequel exactly, because I don't have a problem with sequels. I don't have a problem with sequels. It's just that the fact that I only prefer some games that might be sticking to singles, not like doubles or pretty much sequels, which I don't have a problem with. Which no, frankly, I don't have a problem with any of that. Which I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying is that sometimes I just like really want to consider playing games that don't have like doubles or have like any sequels at all exactly. I'm only just talking about some games that might be a little bit with the one exactly, that only starts with ones exactly, that probably will either make sense. That I'm just trying to think. Very most likely positive that I'm trying to think about that, which to be honest, for some reasons, I have never really considered actually thinking of this idea before, by saying is that, I do have a bit of Steam games that I can really consider thinking about doing too, exactly, which I ever will decide playing that too. That would be a core to be on my post, exactly on the re-edited post that I actually will consider the last number 4, which, by the way, there will probably be one last final 4th thing to do, and then it's finished. I mean, gaming will still continue and all, but it's just that I might have to make room for my season, for like the FNAF season plush episodes that I will have to be making. That's the pretty much the conundrum that I'm talking about. It's a word that I'm referring to. Just a word. That's only I'm saying. So that's just what I want to point out exactly and give my thoughts for everybody to exactly to know what I'm talking about, and for much more I want to recently consider talking about. So that's just what I want to say. And by the way, my many facts here exactly, I'll also say that I will definitely add saying the final 4 games, which I'll definitely consider will be editing the post as well, since I will be doing that moments shortly. That I'll actually will try to do that in a slow progress and very pretty much important that I will have to be doing with to re-edit it if I ever can. So that's going to be my fact, and that's only what I want to talk about in this stream, so that you guys can probably understand what I'm talking about, and for much more conclusions. So that's just what I want to feel free talking about. And let me just go ahead and read the numbers anyway for what we got for like the final games that remains left of which consoles I'm only going to play or PC that I'm actually going to decide. So the first game I'm actually going to play on the Wii is called Wario Land Shake It. Get it? It's called Shake It. Oh man, I really pretty much am a comedian when it comes to shaking exactly when that actually is, but that is going to be an interesting game to play. Which, for one, by the way, I don't even have to use the nunchuck. I might even have to use the remote anyway, the Wii remote exactly. Which, for once, it's going to look pretty nice, and I'll admit that it will be looking pretty cool. So hell, I will decide and will say that the first one I'll play of the final games I have left that will be on the post, considering one final game that would be number 1. That's going to be called Wario Land Shake It. That yes, it's going to be called Wario Land Shake It. Which for once I'm actually going to give a good go out of this one, which I'm going to so love playing Wario Land, which I'm going to just play the first game, not its sequels. I'm just only going to play its game, not sequels, because I'm not pretty much going to be interested into sequels. But if I'm ever interested into some sequels that might not have me involved with a season that I'm doing that only relates to Five Nights at Freddy's, then yes, that's when I'll actually will get to say that I might be interested to do it. But when I say I'm not going to be interested into it, it means I might have to not be that interested to play it. So that's either a no thank you, or it's either saying is like, maybe next time, just maybe next time. Like those are like my only 2 chances I could say that would be positive right now. That could be positive. So that's what I would want to say too. And for number 2, I was also going to add with the final, that would be the final number 2 that I will get to be playing is the new Super Mario Brothers Wii U. Or should I say, New Super Mario Brothers U. Which, by the way, I'll actually will get to play that one, by the way. That'll also consider me playing on that with my gamepad. I'll also will get to play that on my gamepad, which I will be excited to play the new Super Mario Bros. Wii U, exactly, which I'll play that game for real. And oh yeah, it's going to be another one hell of a good rematch this time with the Koopalings. That will be Bowser's Koopalings of his kids, which I'm like, damn. Guess that's going to have to be saved with Princess again, since I might probably be choosing Mario. So hell, that's going to be crazy, right? That actually would be crazy if I picked Mario, which I probably am going to soon picking him anyway. But that's fair enough. That's just recently fair enough. So that's all I want to say. And let's just get to the next one anyway. So the next one I'll play next is called Super Smash Flash. That I'll also will get to be playing is that game that will only consider to be on the pretty much likely on the PC. That will probably be my laptop here, that I will actually will get to play it for the very first time ever to play that game, which doesn't kind of seem a little long time I've never played it. It's been a while. I think I actually played it recently when I was like, I don't know, a little bit more when I was a bit more younger and a teenager for a bit, when I decided playing that game on I don't know, on the PC, and I was like, that looks cool. I might actually give it a go. And I played it for like a couple of minutes, and I was like, wow, that looks cool. I'll admit that it actually looks pretty cool. So I decided was like going to play ahead and play the game and just had it started, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll admit that it looks pretty cool. So that actually is what I want to say right there, and just decide it was like, maybe give it a try on my first channel and see where this goes, and just decide to see how that plays out. So yeah, that's just what I want to say for a second, and that's all I want to say for right now. And as in for a fact, by the way, I'll also say this guarantee exactly is that Well, that's just all I want to say about the post exactly. That, yes, I'll consider adding a fourth game, by the way. That will be a fourth game, which I know it does kind of alert. I know it does kind of refer to like the five exactly, but I might give that as a special thing to say that it will be the fifth, which I know it refers to Finds of Freddy's, which I know it might actually sound like it, but it just might have to sound like it anyway, but whatever. It has to refer to every 5 nights that was first to Five Nights at Freddy's, which it is cool. So hell, I probably will say the last fourth game that I will be having a wild card and will be holding a very interesting wild card that I'll be holding for number 4. So just remember, when the fourth game I'll decide selectively that I'll choose from my choosing, that I only will get to pick either which one I'll decide is either from the Wii U, the Xbox, and then of course Steam, other games that I might decide frequently exactly or whatever. Which I was trying to like mint my words exactly by saying is like, decide when I get decide exactly was that just kind of decide to see how all that works. But that's just what I want to point out and just kind of explain what I want to kind of go on and say what I have to say. And that's just what I want to point out exactly. And I'm very excited to release the season as myself, and I'm actually decided very happily to say is that, yeah, the Finds of Freddy season of mine is definitely going to come around, which it's going to look good. I'll say that it'll be about time to have my lips zipped and sealed and have it released, which, again, I've not considered saying anything about a release date, about how, like, my FNAF Plus season's going to go out, which I probably will try at least to see what I can do. Like I said, I've been planning this for almost a bit of years and a bit of decades to release the season only about Five Nights at Freddy's. That's only going to be about the plush characters I'm only going to do. That's only going to be added for a new interesting chapter. That's going to be about scary. And it will be about the horror. It's going to be all about that. It's going to be all about scary and scary. That's all that's going to look like. And yes, by any chance again about the security guards or the animatronics themselves, let's just say I probably am going to be seeing how this is going to work out exactly by seeing where all this goes, and perfectly say how all that's going to go and come to action when it like gets fully worked and fully very much likely released of the episodes. But it has to come up with like me and all of you guys to think of what episodes we will have to make exactly of the very first episode I'll be ever be making. Which, like I said again, I will at least try my best to see how all this will play out. And as in for like the subscriber special, let's just say I might have to come up with something clever with the specials subscriber special thing. I might have to come up with something clever exactly that something would be extraordinarily amazing. Something amazing. Even if it isn't good, at least it's been tried exactly. I mean, at least it's tried and all, which I can still appreciate that. So that's just what I want to say for the fact of it. So there you go. And as in for like most of everything, it's going to be according to be planned it exactly by my plan, exactly how all that works. So that's just how happy I'm going to feel like seeing how this plays out with the season of mine, which I will totally be releasing it whenever I get that ready. And for much more good conclusions, is just to have something very fun in the table and just have something very delightful and fun, very fun. And also all the good positive and energy that I want everybody to have the nicest and positive energy and the nicest things to say in the comments that I probably will be receiving that I hopefully will get. But, it's just fine either which way it is. I really probably say it's either which way it is. I'm probably in the middle of that. So, like I said, all I want everybody to have is nice and positive energy just for very much like the new season coming around whenever I'm releasing something very important only from the Five Nights at Freddy's fans. That only will be coming around just only for the Five Nights at Freddy's fans. For however, whoever's been a fan of being the animatronics or the security guards, that's pretty much going to be assistantly to be allowed. Which, I probably am going to do the voices again, which I might have to do the animatronics' voices again, the security guards' voices again, the boss of the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria again, which I might have to do all of that, which I might have to do all of that for most likely. So yeah, I know it's going to be sounding like a pain in my butt again, but like I said, as further as I can say, the further the season finishes, the further I might have to be making some of them and get them done without any complaints or problems. Which, even though I might probably complain at least a few exactly whenever I pause, like the scenes are exactly, so that way that my knees don't kill me exactly while like making the video, exactly while making a few of the episodes to happen exactly while making them in the behind the scenes, and also doing the voices of the characters that I probably will have to be doing from going like from every angle spot I might have to be doing. Like, even if it doesn't have to come from the script or anything, then that's fine anyways. It's just how it is exactly. That's perfectly natural. For many reasons, that's natural exactly to understand that part. So yeah, it's pretty natural and it's very understanding and it's pretty much understanding and very natural for some reasons. It's just natural. Yeah. So pretty much, like I said, I hope you guys actually do kind of feel like enjoying the stream. And if you guys do in fact enjoy this video, please remember, like always, is like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys absolutely will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And just as in for a fact that remember, about how the season's going to go is that, yes, I'm going to have to like voice the characters, which will only be the characters from Fredbear's Family Diner all the way to Help Wanted, which, it will just only be a plush version all the way at the end. For however that there will be the same characters like always, that yes, I'm going to give Five Nights at Freddy's the spotlight, that I'll actually will have it on the spotlight and have it ready only on my channel, just my main channel only, just to get something very interesting in the near future. Whenever it's like ready around this year or maybe next year or whatever it'll take, that's when I get to feel like having it ready. Since, it's going to be a very, very good, dramatic, and amazing performance that I'll actually will have for the entire way around it for many years. Like, since I ever did like having like finished like the other episodes I've been making along with the plush characters I've been doing, for example, like from the beginning all the way to the last. That yes, Five Nights at Freddy's of the plush season, just remember that yes, it will be the very last seasons I will be making for the entire thing I'll ever do for the entire of my life, exactly while I finish the whole thing from beginning to end. It will actually go first to Fredbear's Family Diner all the way to Help Wanted. So remember, that's when I'll get to say it'll be done and cut exactly. That will be done and finished 100% bingo on a bingo card and will be finished, completely finished. So, like I said, I know it's going to be a very important thing to make, and I know it's going to be very, 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 very incredible of me to do, exactly for the first time ever, of doing something of very scary and horror. All the way to scary. Which, like I said, it's going to be looking cool, and I think I'll have to say, for the very only honest opinion, by the way, that will be the very greatest thing to do, exactly, is by seeing how cool it's going to look like, how amazing it's going to look, and how awesome I'm going to do with the voice of the characters, how I'm going to probably play them, and how I'm going to do them exactly, and for a lot more further along the way, which, like I said, I will be very grateful and blessful for most everybody for enjoying my videos along the way, just to pretty much have my back for many years, exactly to keep on enjoying my videos, for lots of great things beyond and yet beyond, from old to new, exactly the new to old. Exactly, it's just that I want to be feeling a bit happy for everybody and just kind of feel something that I probably will be saying if it's like an interview or something, then it will kind of sound like an interview. So, the only thing I've ever been saying this for my entire life that I've been so happy to release only about Five Nights at Freddy's. And hey, even though I'm a bit of a Five Nights at Freddy's fan myself, I've always been a very massive FNAF fan for many days and many times I've been playing the game. Like, I've been a massive fan of Sonic, Angry Birds, Mario, Plants vs. Zombies, and then now Five Nights at Freddy's. Which, even though I may sound like a massive fan when it comes to something I enjoy a lot more to be happy and express how I enjoy it, which, like I said, it just gives me a lot of enjoyment for all that stuff. And yes, most other games and shows, movies, or TV shows, oh yeah, call me that I'll be a massive fan to some of them. That I'll actually will be at least some happy for that. And just for the only fact that I actually will be saying this to be my only regards exactly is that how am I going to do the security guards thing? Well, like I said, I do have like the Five Nights at Freddy's characters being all ready to be set into many scenes I'll actually be adding to do, which might seem a little tricky to make, but at least I might have to get some around. That that depends on how good I will make to do. Exactly, that depends how I will do them and how it depends I'll be making it. If that isn't for night guards, I'll only will be doing customized night guards. Even though it might sound random, that yes, that some night guards will only consider being random to most things being random. Which, like I said, it's going to be a little tricky, but I'll at least try to get some little assistance from me talking to David Parks, by the way, which I'll be gladly to talk to David Parks and have that conversation with him back and forward and know how we're going to play that out exactly with the security guards. By saying is either going to have Mike Smith, by the way, going to be around, or just a random security guard that actually gets to be around and will do the procedure of the night and will pass the night anyway. Even if it might sound random, then yes, I know it will sound random, and I will understand that frequently and completely understand that from many criticisms. I already understand that. Totally again understand that, but remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just because I have to make the scene doesn't mean I might have to pretty much just get something a little bit less negative from it. So that's just the part I want to talk about. And hopefully you guys do in fact enjoy the stream as I do. And I hope you guys actually do again appreciate to enjoy the stream. And if you guys were in the stream, by the way, that'll be appreciated and totally again appreciate it. But I mean, again, if not, we'll probably do another stream or so because I mean, hey, we get chances anyway for when streams are going to be in or not, which depends on however that's ready or whatever that's going to go. But trust me, another stream, by the way, that'll be on StreamYard by any chance again that yes, StreamYard, folks, by the way, that StreamYard will get to be happening soon again. That I actually will make a StreamYard video exactly by doing a StreamYard live stream thing. That I actually will have that prepared to be ready. And as in for much more questions that I hope you guys are excited for is whenever I have that ready, then yes, I'll have it ready and I'll give it a go and I'll even give it a good shot to see how that will play out for me. So, by any chances, I hope you guys again enjoyed the stream, and I hope you guys actually again do enjoy this video. And without further ado, and once always again, is that I did explain through most likely the questions of every question I explained, even if it does kind of refer to the post exactly, or from like the old update and new update to the post exactly. I did explain here right now, this stream, that I frequently did exactly explained it. So, there you go. That's just all I want to talk about for right now, and that's all I just wanted to say. So there you go. So, anyways, that's just pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoy the stream. And one more thing before we actually get going, too, by the way, is I definitely want to say this, by the way, before we do get going, by the way, is that how you guys have been doing so far, and as in for me, oh, I've been doing great. I've been doing very great and naturally been doing great so far, at least, which I've been doing pretty good so far. Like, a bit of outside from YouTube for a bit, which I've been doing pretty good so far. And yes, by the way, I still get to do training, which I might have to go back to the gym and do always the usual. But like I said, the schedules, by the way, are a bit little different. So trust me, I know it seems a different thing. Exactly. I know it seems different on the calendar, but it actually does seem a bit different because originally, Mondays and Wednesdays probably would be an actual good thing for me anyway, but so far, it just comes to only Mondays and Tuesdays I get to do the gym, which Wednesday might seem a little bit of a good relaxing thing for me since I know, like, it'll just be like every other time exactly because, it'll seem a little different exactly from different occasions. It might seem a little different or not most likely somewhat interesting, but I just kind of prefer Mondays and Wednesdays. But when it just comes to Mondays and Tuesdays, that's fine either which way it is. But like I said, I think Mondays and Wednesdays are a bit better than Mondays and Tuesdays. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I can't probably judge it by its book, by its cover, by however it works with the calendar thing. So that's just all I want to say for everybody's regard exactly. And just say that sometimes I probably will be making videos. However, by whenever I actually am a little bit not rusty anymore from like, oh, it's like it's been like 3 weeks. It's been like however the days exactly depends on however the whole thing goes on with me exactly, which I don't know how, but like I said, it's just a bit impossible, but whatever. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get going. And if you guys have any questions, then let me know down below in the comments. By the way, let me know down below. So that way that you guys absolutely, again, will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. So, anyways, that's just what I want to say. And hope you guys actually, again, enjoyed this video. And for much more is like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys absolutely will not miss a single video that comes to this channel. So without further ado, folks, I'll say this once again one more time is I'll see you guys soon enough and fairly enough for the next video. So take care, everyone. Have a great day and have an absolute amazing day. And I'll just say this as I'll say this as I hope you guys enjoyed the video and God bless everyone. And also hope you guys actually definitely again enjoyed the video of the stream. And yeah, so the StreamYard thing is going to happen soon. And just remember, it's going to be the same thing as this stream, by the way. It's going to be the same thing as this stream. But it's either going to be early, on time, or late. That depends on however with the month that I'll actually be deciding to do them. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the stream, and I hope you guys absolutely do again enjoy and appreciate to enjoy the stream. And remember, like I said on a few parts I said on this timestamp, that some of them were very important to kind of like paste down exactly just to kind of explain how I'm talking about that exactly with like, however, I'm going to get most of the things working on, by the way, with how I'm going to make them with like, one last thing to make is only about Five Nights at Freddy's. That's it exactly. And no, there won't be any plush seasons only to be on my channel. It's just only going to be one last thing to be making is only about Five Nights at Freddy's. No spinoffs mean no spinoffs. And just remember how I explained them digitally. I only explained about how the Five Nights at Freddy's season is going to go from the beginning all the way from the last to the end. Fredbear's Family Diners first. The first location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, the original first, is second. Third is just about the second pizzeria. Fourth is about like Fazbear's Fright. And then fifth is about like, I don't know. I think fifth's always been about was something with like number 4 exactly. That's about Nightmares. And then of course 6 will be about Sister Location. 6 will just be about Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. And then of course the Ultimate Custom Night. And then of course the rejected one. And finally, Help Wanted. That will be number 1. So yes, I definitely explained it all the way from 10, which I know might seem to be a bit more of another extra story that comes to only about number 4. That yes, they're only going to be separately, only separates, which I know might seem a bit of a confusing timeline thing. I know it might seem confusing, but trust me and bear with me here that I might at least try to have some, at least a bit of encouragement that I'm at least trying to do exactly without making things too confusing, not to kind of understand from what I'm referring to. And yes, that's just all how that story is going to explain all the way from the beginning to the end. So, yeah, that's how all that's going to work out. And it's pretty major, and it's pretty much something I'll be making very big, has never been imagined that I ever will be doing for the first time only on my channel. The very first time I ever will be making only about the plush characters refers to only the Five Nights at Freddy's characters based on those characters. However, I just do those episodes. But, like I said, that, by the way, will be one last thing to be making, and it will be official. It'll be done and official. It'll be all like 5 seasons, but remember, I'm only separating them to be 1 seasons, all up added to 1. That equals 5. I know it equals 5, but like I said, that will count for however it just will count. And no, there won't be any, I mean considered, no spinoffs, and I will mean it. It'll just be no spinoffs, and that's 100% want to be talking about that. There will be no sequels to anything or whatsoever about any spinoffs. So remember, when I say there's no spinoffs, and I mean there won't be any spinoffs. But the sequels, by the way, of the numbers I'll be counting on based on the numbers will still count but not the spinoff thing. It won't be any spinoffs, or regardlessly about any spinoffs that will be added to anything. So no, it just won't be added. It's just how I'm going to be making it, and see how all that will work out. Anyways, without further ado, I actually just say that I will have to say is thank you guys for being patient, for finally getting me to do a YouTube stream for this long, since I really have to say this again, I've never made a YouTube stream for this long ever since 2023. Like, originally just 2023. So, like I said, 2025 with the streams on mine is going to come back a little bit small. But yes, it's going to come around a little small and a little bit short with a slow progress. That's some streaming on my main channel I will be regarded to be making for the rest of the time, and for the rest of the channel I'll be doing exactly for however the streams are going to go slow as progress as they go. So anyway, that's all I want to be saying, and that's all I want to be talking about here, and hope you guys actually again enjoyed this video. And by the way, I'll definitely check if by any chance already is that the stream, by the way, actually is doing good, then I hope it does good. But if it doesn't do good, then I might have to try at least redo all that again. So I really hope it doesn't have to redo all that again, because trust me, I put most of the work of me talking how I explained everything else, of how I literally explained everything else that I just explained already. So trust me, I don't want to be like redoing it again. But if it has to come to it, I might have to retry this again and physically retry that all over again. But, that's just how I want to explain that. So thank you. Anyways, without further ado, I hope that you guys actually again do enjoy this video. And for much more questions, like always, is like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way, again, you guys absolutely will be, again, not miss a single video that comes to this channel. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for enjoying this video. Without further ado, it's time for me to get going, and it's time for me to sign on off and definitely get going. So thank you guys for enjoying this stream, by the way, of this YouTube stream. And by the way, if you guys are excited about the top fans, by the way, remember, it's only about super chat and also about the support by actually being first all the way to third, as I did count by looking on to some premiere videos, on some premiere things on the videos on some channels I looked on. By the way, it has to be first all the way down to 12, or maybe even further, which I'm not that too sure, but it comes down to a little bit of something like that, I suppose. But anyways, without further ado, I'll say this one more time here, is that I am Devin-Foxy remastered again, and I'll definitely say this is thank you guys for watching, and without further ado, I'll see you guys once again, absolutely, for the next video. And like always, again next time, and likewise in the next video. So thank you guys. Take care, everyone. Have a great, amazing day, and I'll definitely sign on off. And thank you guys for very much likely enjoying this video. But remember, like I said, there will be another stream coming around somewhere exactly that will be only related to StreamYard, that I actually will be sure to get that started and progress whenever it actually gets to be ready, by either being early, on time, or maybe late. It depends on whether I make the time and make the schedule, how I make them. So that's just all I want to be pointing out from there. So anyways, thank you guys again for watching. And without further ado, I'll see you guys soon for the absolutely in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing day. Take care. Sign out. Peace out. And goodbye. And see you guys fairly enough again for the next video. So thank you. Devin-Foxy remastered again. We'll see you guys for the next video. Bye-bye, everybody. See you guys in the next video, and see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and signing out.